It is Friday. Simon LeBon is here.
It's Friday, Simon.
Simon loves Friday.
I do love Friday.
You drove here yourself.
I like
too.
fried
How
eggs
was
too.
Traffic.
Yes, well, there is some. And then there's kind of slipping through without causing too much of a fuss.
I have to tell you something before we really dig in here. So John was here a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And John came by and he drove himself.
Yeah,
And
I drove myself today.
Well, and so we were a little impressed by that because not many people do. They arrive with a big, caravan of cars and an entourage. And we said, John, that's cool. You drove yourself. And he goes, yeah, I'd like to do that. Unlike Simon.
Oh, what
he took a direct
what
dig.
a liar. No, I drove myself here in a very nice British Racing Green Jaguar F-Type.
Nice.
Which I've been driving around for a week, and it is wonderful. Anyway, it's a lot of fun when you got a nice car.
Yeah, and also that color. I love the British Racing Green.
This is a kind of like it's got a little flake in it, a little glint.
Ooh, nice.
It's very pretty.
Do
Yeah.
people look over at you like on the 5 or the 101 and go, "Oh my God, it's Simon LeBon"?
No, I think people look over and go, "Who's that idiot driving that lovely car?"
Who's that lovely car driving that idiot? Yeah, the iPhone came out with like a British Racing Green model yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, did they?
Yeah. So, hey, congrats. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees are decimating the competition.
Are we?
You are.
Are we? I've got a lot of respect for all of the other nominees. I'd love to see the name Fela Kuti on there, even though he's a bit brown bread. But I don't know. He's not doing the popular vote thing.
Okay.
But people like Kate Bush, Pat Benatar, Eminem.
Eurythmics.
Eurythmics. I mean, the list is when you look at the list and you're in Duran Duran, you think we haven't got a hope in hell.
Oh no! Come on.
Well, you don't know.
You
Honestly, I see that list and I think there's a lot of people probably in front of us.
But you know what those people are thinking? Oh, God, Duran's in this?
Right.
We don't stand a chance.
Right.
So it goes for everybody.
Here are my votes. Tell me what you think of my votes. And I'm sorry I didn't vote for the guy you just said. But here are my
Fela Kuti.
Yeah.
That's all right. He's got hardly any votes. Duran, Lionel Richie, yeah, Judas Priest, Pat Benatar, Eurythmics. Wow.
Do you like my votes?
I do. I do.
too.
I especially like the one that's at the top.
Yeah, Duran. All right, and also, we were just listening to Wing really loud in the studio before you walked in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a good song, isn't it?
This is all I could think of. James Bond movie.
Oh, wow. I mean, that almost didn't make it on the album.
Why?
Yeah, it really, because it almost didn't. But we kind of, because it had a different melody for ages. It didn't have that melody. And the melody's kind of, the voice is a very big part of what makes it work, I think. It's the biggest my voice has ever been on a Duran Duran record.
Maybe that's why I love it so much.
Well, that's very nice of you. Well, we're just getting on just fine.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and we love Invisible. We love all of it. Invisible Anniversary. John was in not too long ago.
Right.
When only you had just released Anniversary, and now you're touring, and we're excited about the Hollywood Bowl. Do you like the Bowl?
I love it. I love it. Last time we played there, they've got this. They've got this little wall that goes around the orchestra pit.
Yes.
And because we didn't have an orchestra, we actually put
some fans.
fans in the orchestra pit, and I walked all the way around the wall when we were doing a song that's titled "What Are the Chances?" off Paper Gods, the previous album.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And
it's great. Well, it's great. I
it
didn't fall in or out.
were you on the wall?
I actually made it all the way around, and I didn't forget any of the words.
Awesome.
That's gutsy and ballsy. Extremely. And congrats. So a biopic. Have you cast yet? Will you play yourselves? Will you then just cast
I think I really want Anya Taylor-Joy to play me.
Oh, come on, Simon.
Go on.
Be
Please.
real.
Please, Anya.
Do you really want her?
Yes.
No,
I think
you
she's
really?
fabulous.
No, she is
She's
fabulous.
absolutely mesmerizing. I mean, there seem, we've got a new generation of actors and actresses, actors as you call them, all actors, of course, that are coming through now, and a lot of them are mesmerizing, wonderful, wonderful performers.
So much talent comes out of the UK and Britain, like yourself, and I'm thinking, is it because of the weather?
Because we've got such crap weather,
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Yes.
So we have
but
to,
seriously,
because
I think
we're inside all the time, we have to find something to amuse ourselves.
I'm-
Let's try music. That's not bad, John Taylor. Nick Rhodes, what are you going to do next? We need a singer. Call up. Who's he? Who's that blonde-haired man at drama school there? His name's Bon, Shimon Le Bon. It's French, you know.
Yes, but I really think there's something to that. There has to be some kind of something in the DNA of artists out of the UK, and I really do believe that it comes with the history, the architecture, the weather. You see and you experience things that we don't have in the U.S.
Yeah, I think a lot of them. The bits of music that I like the best that come out from the UK, have all got a bit of a sense of rebellion about them. A little sort of subversion. Punk is the biggest example of that. But even the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and Duran Duran in our kind of mild-mannered way. There was a sort of a sense of individuality and not kind of going along with what everybody else was doing.
Right, you do your own.
I think it's fair to say that music in the 80s was very much like that generally. It was no two bands or artists sounded the same. But now, anyway, we don't want to talk about that.
We're talking about you.
Kurt and I do want to talk about Tears for Fears really quick. Kurt and Roland are on with us. And I wonder if this is true for you. They said that it took them, 17 years to put that album out?
Yeah.
This new one that they did?
The new one.
Yeah.
And they told us they got really frustrated, and I'm wondering if this is true for you guys, where they were chasing a hit. They were trying to make a hit rather than make a Tears for Fears album. Do you find that that's been true for you?
Didn't happen like that with us.
It didn't?
No. Well, we have... So we...
He's
but
Simon
for this
Le Bon.
record... No, but I would like to talk about Future Past and how we made it.
Yeah,
I do want to hear about it.
Of course.
So we put the producer in place first. His name's Errol Alkan. He comes from the dance scene. He's not particularly well known. He's not like a big name producer by any means whatsoever. But I think Mark Ronson had mentioned his name and somebody else did. So we had a meeting. We liked him. We thought, and he liked Duran Duran. You see, he had a feeling for us, and I think it's always better to work with a producer who's already got some of your records in his collection because he's got an idea of what he wants to hear from you, and he knows what sounds good for Duran Duran. Anyway, he's the guy who brought Graham Coxon in, the guitarist of Blur.
Yeah.
And Graham came in, and what he did for the music, he lifted the standard, the quality of it all with his incredibly original, edgy sound. And we all had to rise to that. And we were challenged. He challenged us, and we rose to the challenge. And then we had Giorgio Moroder. How can you fail? Duran Duran, Giorgio Moroder. It's a marriage made in heaven. It was absolutely amazing.
And isn't it nice to have that experience after, decades of making music, and then here you are and it's all brand new again.
Yeah. Oh, it was so exciting.
That's so cool.
And we always go into the recording session with a clean slate, with nothing really on our minds. Nobody does any homework, mainly because we're all really lazy. and like going out to restaurants and to the cinema and holidays, the beach, lovely. Are you going to come up with any lyrics? Oh, later. So you come with nothing. I mean, and at first it kind of stutters a little bit, but after a while, because you've got nothing, you really listen out for the good stuff, and you're really sensitive to it, and that's what starts to take over, and you get inspired, and the inspiration takes over, and the songs write themselves. They really do. We serve the music, very definitely. Very much we serve the songs. Even when we go and play them live, I always say to them I say to the guys before we go on stage, Remember, let the songs do the work. All we have to do is serve the songs, just present them properly, and everything else about the performance falls into place.
Music
In
is
a
your
natural
master.
way. It's wonderful.
I love that.
We're all music fans.
Yeah.
You know, I get the shivers up the backbone when I hear something special, like a new piece of music.
Yeah.
And I still get that same thrill that I got when I was 17. You know, listening to the new David Bowie album.
Sure.
That
And
gives
I
me the
get
shivers too.
That,
like
that
hearing you
absolute, it takes over. And I think if you're an artist, if you can hang on to that, you're onto a good thing. You know.
That's so cool. So tell us more about this new album. Do you have a
Well,
favorite track?
Oh, it's not
impossible, right?
fair because it really is a very good album, sort of through and through. It doesn't have a weak track on it. It does not. I love the collaborations, particularly. I'm okay. We've got to talk about Tuvolo on "Give It All Up." She's a Swedish pop star.
Yeah.
So
we know
I don't know
her.
if you play her music.
She's been in here. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
She's
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Somebody in their in wisdom sent the entire album to her and said, "Do you want to do anything?" And she picked that song, "Give It All Up." And I went, "No, I don't want to share that song with anybody. I've done the vocal, it's perfect. I've done all the backing vocals, they're perfect. I don't want anybody else to be singing." I really, and Nick goes, "Well, maybe we could persuade her to do another song." I said, "It's not going to work, Nick. She's just going to say, I don't want to do it then if I can't do that song, because that's the one she's chosen." I knew exactly why she chose it, because it's such a strong melody and it's got a real kind of edgy originality to it. You've never heard a piece of music like that before. So I said, "Oh, well, I'll just send it to her and see what she does." And kind of in the back of my mind, I was thinking, maybe she'll do something crap. She didn't. She didn't. She did something brilliant that I could never have done in a million years myself. I love what she's done. I mean, I'm in love with that track. Absolutely. She just, it's magical what she's sung on that track.
Your life is full of surprising yourself, I feel like.
Yes. Yes, that's really true. I like being surprised. I like not knowing what's going to happen next.
Yeah,
I like not having it all planned out. I like life to happen rather than sort of, well, this is going to happen then. I know people who make plans and they get frustrated when it goes wrong. And I think if you just enjoy time and existence, great things happen. Can I talk about the other songs?
Of course, please do.
So we got Tuvolo on "Give It All Up," Chai, an all-Japanese girl punk band, a Japanese all-girl punk band, who I discovered when I was playlisting for my radio show, Whoosh, which is on Sirius XM Volume. I bet you cut that out. Channel 106. Oh, dope. I came across them. I thought they're fantastic, and we were working on this song "More Joy." And Nick said, "Oh, I think we need some Chinese schoolgirls." I thought, "Oh God!" I thought, "Here we go." I said, "Nick, I don't know about Chinese, but I do know an all-girl Japanese punk band called Chai. Should we see if they'd be interested?" He goes, "Oh yeah, I suppose that would be all right." And we sent it over, and they were so happy to be part of it.
I love the song.
It's
too.
magical, isn't it?
It's so good, and the video is so cute.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I was wondering where that idea came from. So you just knew about them because you love music and you're always listening.
Well, I'm always checking out new bands.
Right.
My radio show's about trying to highlight or give a little bit of airtime to people who are not very popular, people who make great music but haven't managed to be the lucky ones who get on to top 40 radio.
So how do you think they feel? You're sitting there going, we'll ask, we'll see. How do you think it feels for them to get a call from Duran? I mean, it must have blown their worlds with Tuvolo and with Chai.
Well, Tuvolo, I'm not so sure about, because she's a stellar artist. I mean, of very high status.
Yeah.
Chai, it was a big deal for them. I know that, but I'm not knocking it. I'm not diminishing anything. We should also mention Mike Garson.
Okay.
who's somebody who I grew up with. Mike Garson is the pianist of the David Bowie album Aladdin Sane. That he has a unique style of jazz, classical jazz, jazz classical. And he's so identifiable that all that stuff on Watch That Man and Aladdin Sane and the doodle-ding before Driving Saturday starts. And we asked him if he could do something a little bit like, we said, Lady Grinning Soul, which, if you know, is this incredible epic song at the end of the album Aladdin Sane. And he said, I think I could do that. And
I love your imitation.
And so we sent the track over, and what we got back was amazing, absolutely beautiful. It's the last track on the album. It has to be the last track on the album because nothing else can follow it. It's wonderful. Thank you, Mike. You are my hero.
Do you ever turn it off? Are you always thinking musically?
It's not always in the front of my head.
Okay.
But it's always going on in the back. In fact, I've always got a little tape, a little tune playing, whatever I'm doing. Sometimes I remember, I noticed when I was sort of at times when we were being mobbed by fans in the sort of in the 80s, end of the 80s and the 90s, I found out that I had a little reggae bass line going in my head. It's like a boom, 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 ba-dum, dum, dum. Boom, 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 boom. And I'd have it going on, and it would kind of help me get through these stressful situations. And I sometimes I can just, we've been talking about Future Past now, so I've got those songs going on right now. So I'm still hearing Tuvalo going which I can't do very well, but she does it so beautifully.
What's the one must-have that you have to have? On the road, or when you're performing, or before the lights come up, you're backstage. What is that thing? Is there a thing?
Yes. I like a little bit of time in the fresh air on my own, actually, and when I do my vocal warm up, I like to do it outside. Obviously, you can't always do that because the weather might be inclement. But we've been doing a lot of outdoor shows recently, festivals and things. And it's Hollywood Bowl, it will be the same. So I'll be able to go outside and do my vocal warm up with a tape. I've got this wonderful vocal warm up tape that it's not a tape, it's a file. It's on one of those tiny little players.
Oh yeah.
I stick my ear pods in and plug in, and I had this wonderful voice therapist who I worked with when I lost my voice. Her name's Ruth Epstein. She's a very Eastern European Jewish lady, and she is powerful. She has a real power in the way she talks and everything. She's an impressive woman, really. And I think of her and I listen to her. She does this stuff like sort of, imagine the air hitting the back of your throat. And it's like this, and I'm listening to her, and I'm kind of, I'm going all kind of funny, because I'm kind of a little bit in love with her. And, and it's, I like that time when I'm outside. I do that. And if I relax right, it only takes 12 minutes to get the voice warmed up properly.
12 minutes. Oh, that's cool. John, I think John said, when he was here, went right before the lights come up.
Oh, right.
Gets that tingles through the body.
Get that. Well, that's another part of it too. But that's nerves as well. Now I've, after 40 years of being in Duran Duran, I've realised I get nerves, whatever. And I heard something wonderful on the radio. I think it was Sir John Gielgud actually talking about nerves, and he said he has a mantra, and it's like this: it's not fear. It's adrenaline. It's just your mind and your body preparing you to do something extraordinary. And you will do something extraordinary.
That's our quote of the day.
And that really makes you feel okay about have the butterflies in your tummy.
Yeah.
Because it's not fear. You realise it's not fear.
It's adrenaline.
Yep.
I love that.
That's
We do
awesome.
every show that we do every morning. We end with a quote and a kiss, so we're going to pull that one for our quote of the day.
It's wonderful.
We'll use it all the time.
You can use this one as well.
Okay, yes.
I also have a little maxim that I live by: never complain, never explain, never say would have, should have, or could have. Always judge a book by its cover, and always mix your drinks.
Okay, this is a question that we actually had this question in here last year. You sort of went viral for this moment.
Oh God.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, what was happening before, after, during all of this? There was just a video of you seemingly at a restaurant singing "Hungry Like the Wolf."
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
Why? How?
We
Okay,
played it
so-
on the air. People
Yeah.
called.
So yeah, it was.
You were on vacation.
So yeah, I was on.
Yeah.
I was on vacation.
Vacation.
In Ibiza. And when you're on vacation in Ibiza, one of the things you must do is take a boat over to Formentera, which is the little island at the south of. It's like a boomerang-shaped island. It's really, and there's a restaurant there on the beach. It's called Juan y Andrea, which is John and Andrea. And there's all these magical stories about these two people. But they do the best salt-baked sea bass that I've ever had.
yeah.
And you sit there with your feet in the sand and the grass of the dunes right within touching distance. And sometimes you go there and the sun's going down. So you come at the end of the afternoon. And it's magical. It's absolutely magical. And we were there. And the waiter, one of the guys came over to me. He says, "We've got this really good singer, and I think he does a Duran Duran song." Oh God, no! He says, "Would you?" And I think I went to the loo and I walked past this tiny little Spanish guy with a guitar. I went, "Hey, would you do a song with me?" He said, "Oh, I don't think my manager would like it." And I sort of politely declined.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got to the end of our meal, and I'm falling off my chair. By the way.
no,
I'm just going to stand up. Is that all right?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So I got to the end of my meal, and we're there with the family, with the boys. My grandchildren were with us.
Congrats. Yeah.
12 people at the table. We got up to leave, and as we were going towards the sort of the wooden kind of there's like a wooden path over the dunes to get back down to the beach where you get your boat, and he started playing "Hungry Like the Wolf" and singing it, and I went, "He's doing it all wrong." He's not doing it right. I've got to go and tell him how to do it. And Yasmin was like, "Oh God, no!" And so I went running back to the stage.
Yeah.
And I said, no, you got it all wrong. It's like this. And suddenly, I was doing it with him. I was just singing. The only thing is, he's quite a bit shorter than I, and I had to bend down almost sideways. And all the kind of video cameras, I look really weird because I'm kind of bending over sideways. And my manager says, "I think you look a little bit like Oliver Hardy." I go, "Oh no, I should have sucked my stomach in a bit more." It's difficult to do when you're singing,
Oh man, that's awesome.
We wondered how that all came about.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
But it was. I mean, it really did go viral, and he's a lovely guy. The singer, I can't remember what his name was, but he's a really good guy.
Is that one of your favorite spots in the world? Because you've been everywhere.
It really is. Yeah.
What's your arm workout? Your arms. After you stood up there, I'm looking at your guns. What do you do?
I don't think you can say on the air, can I? I'm kidding.
I was going to guess yoga.
No,
Yeah, what
I
is
just
it?
well,
Weights.
actually I do press ups.
Okay.
I do press ups, and
Yeah.
I've always been quite expressive. So I use my upper body.
Yeah.
I'm a singer.
Right.
When you're a singer, you use your whole body. Your legs are the tripod, really. They're like and you have this. Your hips are the platform, and then you have this mechanism which you expand, which is your resonator. That's your chest and all of this stuff, and then you have the diaphragm and the lungs, which is the pump. I mean, it like the bellows of an organ, and it's a very physical thing. So when I perform, I burn up a lot of calories.
Oh, yeah.
I've always been physical. I like swimming. I like walking. I used to run, but I did my knees in, so they creak a bit now.
Yeah.
Oh God,
There's
no, that's
oil
the right
for
knee
that.
again. Yeah, where's the oil can? Thank you.
Like an eagle, chest out.
Yeah, no, but it is. I mean, I've got a big chest. Look at me. I mean,
And you're very tall.
But I've got a huge sort of barrel chest, which is it's always difficult with suits. You know,
Oh, right, yeah.
I can't get my suits from Target.
Yeah, you have to have them
I've
made
got
for
to go
you.
and get them made for me. Yeah.
You go to what is the place in London?
Savile Row.
Yeah, Savile Row.
Yeah.
Get bespoke, your bespoke
So,
duds.
but I've done singing for 40 years and I love it. I love making noise. Can't you tell? I can't stop talking. Have you ever had anybody in the show who loves the sound of their own voice as much as me?
No, I don't think we have we? No, we haven't. We've had a lot come through, and I don't think anyone loves to hear their voice as much as you do, or as much as I do.
Yeah. Like-minded.
What is happening with rugby this weekend?
So there's a competition in Europe. It's called the Six Nations competition. It's England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, France, and Italy all play rugby against each other. It goes over a period of about 2 months actually, because you can't play every week because it's such a draining sport. And on Saturday, there's a big match between England and Ireland. And obviously, I'm an Englishman,
Yes,
so
are you favored to
I'm
win?
waving the white and red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love rugby. In fact, you see, we also have football. We have which you call soccer.
Yes.
It's a very different atmosphere at a football match because the fans are it's tribal. There's anger. There's violence.
Yeah,
There used
there
to be
is. Yeah,
in the
right.
1970s. There was proper fights and things all the time. So they separate the fans. So you don't get to sit next to anybody who supports the other team to you, what you're
Right.
supporting. And I think that leads to more anger and more aggression. Rugby's just not like that. I mean, I think in your sports, your crowds are integrated, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they are.
A little
And
bit.
if, if the person in front of you is following the red team
Yeah,
and,
you let 'em.
and you're following the blue team, you're not going to try and punch him
Right.
if the Reds score, which is, and I think it's very healthy that people get to deal with their aggression in that way.
Yeah.
But not at football, not at British football matches, and all over Europe it's the same. I mean, in Italy, people get stabbed at football matches and lose their lives. I mean, it's terrible.
I went to what's the one in Madrid? I went to
Real Madrid, yeah.
They were playing,
Is that the Bernabeu Stadium? I think it is. Yeah,
and they were playing I think Chelsea. It was
Yeah.
a British, and
big
so
European match.
we went early so we could see the locker
Yeah.
rooms, all the stuff they had. I mean, they're so spoiled too. Rugby players aren't as spoiled as the.
Well, they don't earn quite as much.
Yeah,
but I
right.
don't think there's as much money in it because it's not
Yeah.
not quite as popular a sport. Not so many people go to see it. It doesn't earn so much money on TV.
Simon, I hope we didn't leave anything out.
Well, we obviously did because you can't I can't stop talking. I just stay here until you
NFTs.
throw me out. Basically,
We love having you here. We hope you'll come back.
I will. It's been fun.
Yeah, good.
It's nice. It's nice in this ghost town of Burbank.